All right, Junior, thanks so much. Mexico wants to sue Google after it changed its maps to say the Gulf of America. The tech giant made the adjustment following an executive order from President Trump. Now, Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum says Mexico has sovereignty over its territorial waters, and she expects Google to use internationally recognized geographical names. People who use Google Maps in the U.S. will see Gulf of America, while people in Mexico will see Gulf of Mexico. And because I know you're wondering it, the rest of the world will see both names.
That's interesting. The court has postponed the start of classes for thousands of schools in southern Brazil as a heat wave threatens temperatures of up to 40 degrees Celsius. The start of the school year was pushed back a week at the request of a teachers' union, which filed a complaint saying there was lack of adequate ventilation and sufficient water sources for the students. The suspension of classes affects around 700,000 students. The teachers' union hailed the decision as a fundamental victory for the safety and well-being of the entire school community. The state government, however, has appealed the move and hopes to have students return before February 17th. In Brazil's the Education Secretariat said that the local government is building a resilient school model adaptable to climate change with adjustments to school infrastructure.
It's very difficult. It's almost 40 degrees in the sun here in Porto Alegre, but this is our job, so all we can do is stay hydrated and keep working.
The heat wave hitting the state of Rio Grande do Sul, which usually has milder temperatures than regions further north, comes after historic floods in the state in 2024 that left more than 180 people dead. Brazil's National Meteorology Institute has forecast temperatures of up to 40 degrees Celsius and has issued a red alert for some parts of the state. Brazil has been hit by several climate extremes in recent years, from floods to droughts and severe fires, which experts have said has been exacerbated by climate change.
The latest in President Trump's first 100 days, and the Trump administration has started mass layoffs across several federal agencies. It's part of Trump's continued effort to shrink the federal workforce. On Thursday, he ordered agencies to lay off nearly all probationary employees who have not gained civil service protection. In audio obtained by ABC News, the acting director at the Office of Personnel Management is heard telling about 200 probationary employees to gather personal belongings.
You will receive your termination notice via email shortly, and it will include the reason for termination. As a result, your employment with the Office of Personnel Management will end today.
A group of unions has filed a lawsuit to try and block the mass firings.
The Department of Government Efficiency has hit the ground running since its inception by executive order less than a month ago. Emma Withrow from the Fact Check team joining us now to discuss. And I know Elon Musk has said that his goal is to save the government $1 trillion. It's still early, of course, but what do those totals look like in just the past few weeks?
Yeah, so just in the past few weeks, they say they've uncovered billions of dollars in waste and have already started cuts. I went through their profile on X today and went through all the things that they've been documenting in regards to this. So within the first 80 hours, they focused on cutting DEI contracts and canceling leases for unoccupied buildings. Now, this added up to around $420 million in savings. Fast forward 10 days, and DOGE reported they've saved around $1 billion with all those DEI contract cuts in pretty much every government agency. They also launched a deferred resignation program for federal employees to cut staffing levels. They gave them the option to resign in exchange for continued salary and benefits until September 30th of this year, and around 77,000 federal employees decided to take the offer.
Is there an estimate yet of how much money total DOGE has saved the federal government?
It's tough to get the total estimate yet. It's still a little too early to tell, but when I started tallying up their savings that they reported on X, it's at least in the billions. We can hopefully get kind of a more specific answer on that within the next couple of days, though. They posted on their website that they're going to be posting the receipts of all these savings by Valentine's Day. So we'll see.
All right. Well, I know you'll keep us posted.
Yes.
Emma, thank you. Later on, Emma will be back to break down DOGE's proposals and the legal pushback they're already facing.
Ukraine has offered to strike a deal with U.S. President Donald Trump. for continued American military support in exchange for developing its minerals industry, which could provide a valuable source of critical raw materials essential for many kinds of technology. Trump said he's interested in such a deal earlier this month. It was initially proposed by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky as part of his plan to strengthen Ukraine's hand in any future negotiations with Russia. The bulk of Ukraine's critical raw materials, such as lithium, uranium, and titanium, are largely untapped because of the ongoing war, but also because of state policies regulating the industry here. Geological data in particular is quite thin. Trump in particular has expressed interest in rare earth elements, and the research into that here is also quite nascent. However, titanium is quite an established industry here, as you can see in the open pit mine behind me. Ukraine is believed to have one of the largest reserves of titanium in Europe. Now, Ukrainian businessmen are pretty keen to work with Americans in this sector. However, many of them express skepticism that American companies may not come here in the absence of security guarantees. This deal will likely be a subject of conversation in the coming weeks and months, and especially when Zelensky meets Trump.
ICE announcing more arrests of criminal illegal immigrants, including several with gang affiliations or violent histories. Many were put back on the streets thanks to sanctuary city policies. Bill Malugin is live in Los Angeles with more. Tell us about these guys, Bill.
Well, Dana, it's hard to believe there are any jurisdictions out there that wouldn't cooperate with ICE when it comes to illegal aliens charged with forcibly raping children. But in Massachusetts, it's just routine. Take a look at this case. ICE Boston just announcing they arrested this Guatemalan illegal alien charged in Massachusetts with 3 counts of aggravated child rape and 3 counts of forcible rape of a child. So the question is, why was he on the streets, right? Well, ICE says their detainer request on him was ignored by the Essex County Superior Court due to sanctuary policy. The locals released him into the community on bail without any notice to ICE. In a statement, the director of ICE Boston says in part, quote, Jose Fernando Perez has been charged with some horrific crimes against a minor in our Commonwealth. He is exactly the type of alien we are targeting with our worst first policy. He posed a significant danger to the children of Massachusetts, and we will not tolerate such a threat to our community. ICE Boston also announcing the arrest of this Turkish illegal alien charged in Massachusetts with assault and battery against an intellectually disabled person and witness intimidation. But ICE says their detainer on him was also ignored by the sanctuary city of Somerville. He had also been released into the public. Elsewhere around the U.S., ICE Seattle arrested this Salvadoran illegal alien wanted in his home country for aggravated homicide. Here in Los Angeles, ICE arrested this Guatemalan illegal alien charged with sexual assault and rape with a gun. And in Colorado, the DEA announced their top 10 arrests of illegal immigrants in recent days, including several affiliated with Tren de Aragua and others with egregious crimes like kidnapping, child sexual assault, and fentanyl trafficking. And Dana, I was talking to a law enforcement source in Massachusetts about the child rape case that I referenced, and I asked, there's got to be some sort of a catch here, right? Forget about cooperating with ICE. How does somebody charged with so many counts of aggravated, forcible child rape even get released on bail in the first place? The response I got was, quote, welcome to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. We'll send it back to you.
Well, they're finally on their way out. Thanks, Bill.
Tuama, that he's preparing the war against NATO countries next year. And I think so. But I don't know, I don't have 100. God bless, we will stop this crazy guy. And we will not have any war in the world in Europe, but you will not stop him just to say, yes, he said that, we will stop. It's not enough. And that's why, how to stop it, security guarantees for us. If we are not ready today for NATO, okay, we will wait, but we can't just wait. We will wait with some security guarantees for today. But I think that the United States is not in the middle, otherwise, in the middle between between what? Between, I don't know. I think that United States is in the top Yes, and they can stop any evil. And they, in this case, they have to be on the side of us because they attacked us and occupied us. So we are right, and they are not. No compromises in this.
At some point, when things settle down, I'm going to meet with China, and I'm going to meet with Russia, in particular, those two, and I'm going to say there's no reason for us to be spending almost $1 trillion on military. There's no reason for you to be spending $400 billion. China's going to be at $400 billion. We're at $1 trillion. We're going to be at close to $1 trillion. And I'm going to say we can settle this on, we can spend this on other things. We don't have to spend this on military because, and I'm going to be meeting with China. You know, we were trying to de-escalate nuclear, and I was in a position where Russia had agreed and China had agreed we were going to start, and then we had a rigged election, so that never took place. As soon as things settle down, I'm going to have that conference, primarily with China and Russia, because those are the two that really are out there. And we're going to have them spend a lot less money, and we're going to spend a lot less money. And I know they're going to do it. They agreed to it. We were talking about denuclearizing, and President Putin and I agreed that we were going to do it in a very big way. There's no reason for us to be building brand new nuclear weapons. We already have so many. You could destroy the world 50 times over, 100 times over. And here we are building new nuclear weapons, and they're building nuclear weapons, and China's building new nuclear weapons. Hopefully there'll never be a time when we need those weapons. If there's ever a time when we need nuclear weapons, like the kind of weapons that we're building and that Russia has and that China has to a lesser extent but will have, that's going to be a very sad day. That's going to be probably oblivion.
Do you see that as a separate conversation?